It's quite simple when it is coming to integration with Google Map solutions into our application. So as you guys know, we are using Jetpack Compose in our as our um, main section, main UI library. So we have the ability to incorporate map solutions into our application. So you guys might ask, um, what's so special about maps and everything? So most of the time when we are developing an application, showing some location, geographical location, pinpoint outing section, or sometimes we want to highlight an area of interest. For example, last few days, you guys know we had heavy rain, right? And if you want to highlight, okay, these are the areas that were affected by flood, okay? So do not cross these areas. We can highlight those areas in red. Warning areas, maybe we can show those things in yellow color and something like that. So we have the option of drawing things, okay, drawing, we call these things as shapes on a map. So we can geographically represent our information. And the other hand, we have other options such as pinpointing. Okay, so you guys might have seen these quite often. We can pinpoint a location and see that location within the map itself. So it's easy for us to incorporate a point of interest, this kind of thing. And there are other applications as well. So for example, if you want to highlight our live location, sometimes you guys, if you know ride hailing applications like Uber, PickMe, so you guys might have seen, okay, in a map, real time we can see that a car is moving, this kind of thing will be shown in a map. Okay, so we know, okay, our driver is all on his way, and we can track the progress, the update of where the driver is all about. Okay, so these kind of practical applications are in Google Maps, or in particular Maps. I'm not specifying Google in the sense, but the most easiest integration that you would say. Uh, the most easiest implementation of map is would be the Google Maps. Okay, so but there are other map solutions. Please share my screen. I'm not sure. Google Chrome, suppose. Okay, I hope you guys can see my screen. Or is it not? Okay, I think I'm sharing a different screen. Okay, copy. Okay, I hope you guys can see now. So there are different map solutions out there. Google Maps is one of the Google map providers. There are other map solutions like Bing Map, Apple Maps, and those kind of things are available. But it's easy when it is coming to Android. Google Map integration is like almost easy, so we don't have to worry about a lot of integrations things that going on within our applications. Okay, so uh, mm, in most of the time when we are looking at map integration, you would need a map provider like Google Maps, but due to limitations, due to application usage and everything, you guys might probably need something called like API key. Okay, API key is like a way of identifying your application from the rest of the applications which invoke Google APIs. So okay, they are not abusing, and in a time of where Google Map is, you want to pay for their services, so they know, okay, this API has these API calls need to be paid or something like that happens. Okay, so basically an API key would determine how many requests are there, who is doing this. So they have like a little bit of track what we are doing within our Google API integrate Google Maps integration. Okay, so probably while we are doing this, you would need a Google API key. Remember, there is a free tier on map integration. So last time I checked, you have 20,000 map requests per day. The last time I checked, it might change anyhow, but you have the free tier that you can try these things out uh, with the Google application. And so you don't have to worry about paying it upfront. Okay, but most of the time, there are payment involved in integrating Google Maps into application. But as I said, there are open source solutions and free solutions sometimes. Okay, so OpenStreet is one of the map providers which have this ability. But we will just not go through OpenStreet integration. We'll basically go with Google Maps integration. So it's easy, and most of the time, the accuracy of the application, and if you think like the updated content update is almost frequently happening in Google Maps. So we know for sure that this is like we have the updated content within our application to show. So this would be easy for showcasing our places, showcasing our areas, this kind of thing. So make sure um, select a map solution that suits best for you. We have to think about the financial situation. If you don't want to burn a lot of money, if your application is a free application that gives something, so make sure to find out a free map provider. But if you have money, if your app is gaining some revenue, so going small chunk of money for Google Maps or Google APIs would be fine. Okay, that's up to you to decide. So let's see how easily we can incorporate into our application. Okay, so sorry. So we have this Maps composable library, which we can use to incorporate Google Maps into our application. So there are like different section in this application where it gives us different different use cases. For example, the Google Map is like the basic functionality which we will be incorporating. This is like the basic map incorporation that we need to do. And there are options like polygons, where we talked about drawing shapes and drawing shapes, points, or anything what you like. So, and there is a most popular one would be a marker. So we can pinpoint a location, put a marker, put an image, and location in our application so we can see. So um, so we will see a simple integration in our application, see how that we can do this integration into our application. So right now I'm gonna launch Android Studio. I think I have already shared. I will share it once again so you guys can see as well. Share my screen. Google Chrome and Android Studio. Okay. So first thing first that we need to do is we need to make sure we have a we need these things, like we need to download the um, Android Studio, create an empty project. So we have already done that. Okay. So we have the minimal SDK language set to Kotlin, and the next thing that we need to do is obtaining an API key. Okay, so this is what we talked about earlier on. So we need to obtain an API key, which will be used by um, our application. So the API key is going to be something unique for your application. So make sure uh, which you need in order to communicate with Google APIs. If we are trying to communicate without an API key, so this won't be a success. Okay, so first thing first that we will do is we will get an API key. Really simple. So what we need to do is we need to create a project. Okay, in Google console. It's really simple. And sorry. So let's go to Maths platform and credential section. So I'll be going to the Google Cloud Console, and from there, I just need to select a project. Okay, so we have uh, plenty of projects that I have created. So I'm gonna create a simple application that I have already used. Okay, so I'm gonna use one of the projects that I have created. So you can go to new project. Sorry, you can go to select a project and create a new project if you like. Right now, I'm going to be using one of the old projects that I have already. Okay. So in here, what you need to do is go on to credential and create API keys. Okay. Credential page. So I'm right at the credential page, and there is the option of create credential and create an API key. So create credential, go to API key. So we are creating an API key, which we'll be resolving soon. So this is my API key for right now. Okay. Which I'll be deleting as soon as after I'm done with this lecture, because I don't want other people to bill me for it. Okay, so I'm gonna have this API key copied, and I'm gonna keep it safe for now. But at the end of the lecture, I would be deleting this. Okay. So in your real life project, you don't have to delete it right after you created it. You need to create it. So we can name our API keys if you want to identify. You can have multiple keys within the project. Right now, I'm going to be having this within my application. And the beauty of these API key is that you guys can see that we can set restriction on Google site. So we can restrict this for Android app. So in this scenario, what will happen is only people with the correct API key and Android application will be allowed to use this API key. If anyone try to use this API key and they are not within my Android application, the application that I am trying to create, so they will not be able to do anything like that, because I'm gonna be leaving a certificate in here. Okay, and I can have restrictions like what sort of packaging, or what sort of applications that this API key is accessible. Right now, I'm not going to send any restriction for now. So I'm going to keep the default and keep the API key. But remember, you can fine tune the API key. Make sure this API key is not shared with anyone other than anyone in your project, or somewhere someone who is within your organization. Do not share this API key. Okay. So um, so we have the API key. Next thing that we need to do is incorporate the dependency. So this is like normal routine for you guys now. So we need to have these Google Maps Android Compose library within our dependency section. Okay. So we will go to our dependencies, and go to Gradle 1. So we are at the actually the by application. Right around here, we have implementation dependency. So I'm gonna name this one as Google Maps, and you guys can see this is using the Gradle coding style. So we're gonna make it to KTS style. So we'll be having something like this. Okay. So now what we since we have changed this, we will sync the project. So Gradle will do it magic and try to get the dependencies and everything sorted out for us. So we don't have to worry about getting all the classes and everything at our within our project. Okay. So what we're gonna do is uh, we'll be adding a simple uh, map and location. So this is like the basic of map declaration. So you guys can see it's a composable function that is coming on. So we can see the examples in here within our application, how we gonna be using Android Compose or Jetpack Compose to do so. Okay, so we have a lot of options that we can do, but this is like the simplest solution that we can come up with. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we'll create a new composable view, and we will try to add these things within our composable view and see whether it's working or not. Okay. All right. Think uh, the application is almost done. Next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create um, so create main within our main activity. So this is where everything is going on. So we have the game list and set content for a game list application. So I'm going to create another UI in here, or I can just create single page in here. I'll make Kotlin cast, and I will say Google Map uh, integration. Okay, so like what we did with other components, okay, if you guys can see, we have the composable functions that we have developed, so we can do the same thing in here. Okay, so we will be having a composable function. I'll say Google Map View, and the thing that we need to annotate, I think this. Okay, composable. Okay, so that makes our application a composable view. So like a composable view, what we need to do is uh, so define our application. What we want to see it is as it is. Okay, so I will just use a column, or I can just simply return a Google uh, Google Map component. Okay, so this is the Google Map component that we want to share. And this is function, right? So map. Okay. So I'm gonna create this Google Map view rather than I'm gonna create a text view. Check whether this is working. Text. Text is Google Map will be here. Okay. So in our main application, where we need to run the application, the main activity. So rather than having maybe a game list view, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Google Map view. Okay, so we have the Google Map view, and right now it should simply say uh, it should say some Google Map will be shown in here. That's it. So we'll see whether that is coming first. Oh, this is, I think okay, we have set a content. Let me check. Did we change the main activity? Okay, within the main activity, we have Google Map here. There is some. The database connection. Let me stop and try to clean the project. Might be that. Clean the project. Sometimes it's need a fresh installation. Let's play it once more. Still not. Did I change it somewhere else? Main activity. Okay, activity is there. The item, no, this is the component. Change the configurations, no. We model this. Oh, this comes in. Let me check. No, something else that I'm showing. Maybe. My bad. I was deploying the wrong application. So maybe the application is right. So I was deploying email. So we have the Google map will be here. And what we're gonna do is next we will just have few things. First thing is a Singapore location that is like the latitude and longitude. So I hope you guys know what latitude and longitude is. So it's, if you don't know, it's the basically coordinate systems that we use within a map itself. So this one has the latitude of 1.35 and longitude of 103 and 0.87. So latitude, longitudes, they vary differently. What's the value that we are using? So I'm gonna use Google Maps, Google Maps Sigiriya. Okay. So we have the latitude and longitude of Sigiriya rock here. Can I get the latitude and longitude? me check whether I can get. Okay, so this I got the latitude and longitude of Sigiriya. So what I'm gonna do is in our map integration class, I'm gonna create a variable called Sigiriya, Sigiriya, and I can say let long. Okay, so let long in here, I need to provide the latitude and longitude of the Sigiriya. So you guys can see it's a huge number by looks of it. Okay, so Sigiriya has this longitude of 7 point something and 80 point something. So this represent the latitude and longitude of Sigiriya. So we'll be placing a marker in Sigiriya when we look at with our application. Okay. So next thing what we're gonna do is we will have something called camera position. Okay, so position state. Okay, let's see what this is all about. So we have to import this camera position and not Singapore but from Sydney. Okay, so we are using something called camera position. Okay, so camera position represent the zoom level for a given location. So you guys know that when you look at when you look in Google Maps, we have like a bird eye view of the ground, right? When we are looking at Sigiriya, it's like a bird eye view. So the zoom level that represent in here is 10. Okay, so the point that we used is here is 10. So 10 represent a huge, like a really big distance from the ground itself. Okay, so we have like a limitation. It's not for the general purpose. Generally, we do not have a zoom level after I think 18 or 17. Okay, so 17 is like the maximum zoom level that a normal person can go up to. So in this scenario, we have the zoom level of 17, which is much more closer to the object on the ground. Okay, so if you use a zoom level like 10, it will be far away from the ground, so it will be like covering more area. But something like 17, it's like basically we are really close to the object, to the ground. Okay, so you guys can play around with the zooming position and get to know about it. So this position that we are having here is remembering camera position state. That means whenever the Google Maps is redrawing the map itself, we are remembering this position. Okay, so this is like a simple state that we're gonna be keep referring to. So this position will be saved while even though we refresh our page. Okay, page in the page since we re-render, it will be the same thing. Okay, next thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna grab the text that we have in here, and we will be incorporating Google Maps, and we will have some modifiers. So it will have the modifier of fill max size. I think it is not there. Fill max size. Okay. So error modifier. Okay, I think imported wrong modifier. Import. Sorry. So we have the modifier. Okay. Java modifier from compose. okay, and it will be Maxify. So make sure you are importing the correct class, otherwise it will do some errors. So we will be fill the max size. That means we will try to take the entire space that is available. And what is the camera position that we are in? Okay, this is the position which will be saved on the state that we are in. Okay, so the camera position would be there. So the camera position consists of two things. One is the location itself, and the zoom level which it is containing. So there are like more options with the camera, but basically we need the location and the zoom level in order to work with this small location. And the next thing that we need to do is we will put a marker. Okay, we can go without a marker even, but in that scenario, what will show us is a simply the map, but we need to put a marker. So you know that uh, red, the famous red location mark that you will see. So we will put a marker on the Google Map as well. Okay. So we will import a marker which is coming from Google Maps model. Sorry, marker. So I have multiple options. Android GSM. Which one is the correct one? I think composable marker. Yeah, composable marker. And the marker state, the first one is the state. Okay, where are we going to be having this marker? So I need to import marker state class as well, and the position. Okay, so we'll be putting CGD. So don't get confused the marker with the map position. So map position is basically we can have a map position. Say for example, map position will be in like Colombo, okay, and the marker can be in CGD. Okay, but right now to see the map marker and the position at the same time, what we'll do is we will create a marker which is really close to CGD. Okay, so that way we know, okay, the Google map when it is showing, initially it will show the CGD area centered around this position with the zoom level of 17, and uh, and it will create a marker with the title of, let's say, CGD, and snippet. What we can do is marker in CGD. It's like a thumbnail or like a small description. So we have the composable in here. So we were able to get the map and the marker. Okay. So do not confuse the camera position and the marker itself. Marker is just to put a red map sign there. The camera position is to Google Map to refer as the layer. Okay. We'll see these things in action. Just for now, remember those two things. So you guys might ask, we have uh, we have added two things. Okay, we have added a marker and a Google Map location. What we're gonna do is let's see how we can. If you try to run this, probably we will get an error because you guys can remember. Um, you guys can oh, sorry. You guys can see that um, give me a second there. Sorry. So we have the Google Map API key, but we haven't used it in somewhere else, or we couldn't uh, um, uh, we have the API key, but we haven't used it somewhere else, right? We need to verify. Probably what we can do is get a trial, run an error, and they will probably say key is missing. Try to install it. Let's go with the trial and error so we know what's we have done right. Let's see. Oh, right. Um, let's see. Launching. Launching. Let's stop once again and try to run it again. Okay, so you guys can see the application stop somehow. Okay, so we can see in most of the time in logcat, okay, what is the error? That is like the place we can find an error. So yeah, in here you can see the exception, API key not found. Please check Meta Android name, Google Android Geo API key, and the value API key is in the application element of your manifest exception. So they are basically uh, um, um, the basically it's saying what is the error and how we can fix that. Okay. So let's do that and try to get the error fixed on, and we can see what's going on in there. Uh, First thing that we need to do is um, go with the application. Uh, so we have to go to Android Manifest application section, and we have to add metadata and your API key kind of things. So let's go to Manifest. Yes, this is where we are. And under application, this is application in here. Most of the time we put these meta tags in on the bottom, so we know that is something that we need to do. So we have the com.google geo API key and your API key here, which will be the API key I just created. Okay, so this is the API key that we have created. Okay, now we will run it again. Okay. Okay, let's minimize so you guys can see it is showing the area of Sigiriya. Let's little bit zoom out so you know, okay, we are in Sigiriya, and the location mark is also put in there. Okay, so we know that the application ran, and the things that we need, like putting the value in there, it is working as expected. Okay, so any questions up until this point, guys? Any questions with what we have done so far? Okay. So basically, it's really simple and straightforward, right? We have the uh, things in here, and we can play around with this one if you like. Uh, let's do some changes in here. Uh, what we're gonna do is we go to the map integration, and rather than having level 17 or zoom level, we'll go something like 15. So we'll starting at much more higher elevation rather than what we have in here. Uh, so you guys can see now it's little bit elevated rather than what we have seen. So if I change it to like 12 or something, make sure you have a mental picture on this. Now you see we are far away with zoom level of 12, and if you go something like 10, which was like where we can see a country like Singapore, but not Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a little bit huge. So we might need to zoom out a little bit more to get everything around Sri Lanka. So if we put like 8, I think this would be the zoom level that we will get to get Sri Lanka in the picture. Yeah, I think you guys get Sri Lanka on that level. So it is what you can see. Okay, give me a minute, guys. Okay, all right. So we have this as our application. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some modification and see what's going on. So I'll do some other things like I'll place a marker in a different position and the zoom level in a different location, and we will see what's going on in there. So we have Sigiriya as lat long in here, and we will have Colombo and lat long for Colombo is, if I'm not mistaken, and longitude is around this. So we have Colombo and in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so the marker that I am trying to put is Sigiriya, but my the initial position that I'm gonna go is with Colombo. Okay, so let's see what's different so you guys clearly understand what I'm saying. Okay, so right now we are in this location. This is like, as you can see, it is like Colombo, but you guys can't see a marker that we have put in because we have put a marker in Sigiriya, but initially the application was starting at a position where it is positioned to Colombo, not Srigiri. Okay, so now if I zoom out a little bit, and there you go, the marker that we have put. Oops. I think I accidentally exit the application. Yes, there you go. The marker that we have put in here is in Sigiri. Okay, so this is like the basic concept of like uh, the locations. If you want to pinpoint out, we can clearly simply do using markers and having a camera position, and Google, we can have something like this. Okay. Um, so next thing that we want to do is we can do uh, um, other um, what do you call other functionalities which comes in Google Map. Okay, so we basics thing is to go with a marker. Okay, so we will add more things like a polygon where we want to like highlight an area of interest rather than showing you a um, um, area of what we call like uh, say for example we want to show um, Kandalam area or something like that. I don't know. A, a simple area that we want to highlight. We can do that by um, simply using these polygons that we are using. Okay, so we see how we can get a polygon. First of all, we need to create a polygon. Let's see an example. Polygon. Mhm. So you polygon is like 2D plane. You can also draw something like lines that you can see in here from this location to this location. This kind of things is also possible. Would be something what we call a line. I think we don't have a line in here, but the same theory goes. If you do not have more than three positions, it would be a line. Okay, the polygon that we are going to be having is going to be a line in that scenario. Okay, so let's see what we can do with a polygon. Uh, uh, uh. Hmm. Let's see, we need Google Polygon. Give me a second. And Ah. Mm, the polygon. Okay, let's add a simple polygon and we will see how we can go. So we need to have a polygon with several points, right? We need to have different latitude and longitude in order to draw a polygon. So that's basically what we need. So let's see to get a list of latitude and longitude, so we can draw a polygon of any size. Okay, so the simplest thing that we can do is we will get a few polygon areas surrounding something. Okay, let's see. Let me find uh, polygon area for uh, rock. Not sure whether I can find the latitude and longitude of Sigiriya exactly. No. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead with some random locations. Okay. So I will have the location on Dambulla. Okay, let's get the Dambulla latitude and longitude. Okay, let me get some locations first. So we have Sigiriya and we have Dambulla, Latlong. Okay, we will have, I think this is Dambulla, and longitude is around this. Okay, so to draw a simple polygon, you need at least three points. So we have Sigiriya, we have Dambulla, then I will take a random location in here. I don't know where we can find another simple location. Diabeduma. Okay, let's get Diabeduma on this area. Diabeduma. Okay, let's get that one as well. Variable Diabeduma let long. Diabeduma let long is somewhat little bit different. Different in the sense it's changed the value at least. Okay, so we have the Abeduma in here and we have Sigiriya, we have them also. At least we have 3 points to draw a polygon. So it's going to be a triangle, some sort of triangle, since we are using 3 points. Okay, so now uh, with this we can have a set of points. Okay, we can draw a polygon by using the polygon class. The polygon class need points. Okay, so we need to provide these 3 points. Okay, so how are we going to provide those 3 points? It's we will create a list of this. Okay, so we will call these as points as well, or you can say area around C or something like that, and we have to provide it as a list of. Okay, so we will be providing a list of areas. So Sigiri is one, Dambulla is one, and the Abeduma is also another one. So we have 3 locations, which is having the points that we want to draw. So all these 3 latitude and longitude are within this array called points, and I can say, or I can point, I can show these points to the polygon that we are trying to build. Okay, so we will have a marker on Sigiriya and we will be drawing a polygon on top of that. Okay, we'll see these in action. Okay, so initially it is in Colombo, that's where we have put it. And okay, so you guys can see that we have a polygon surrounding the area that we are interested in. Okay, so since it is 3, we have the polygon put on top of uh, the map area, something like this. Okay, so basically it's a triangle which shows the area. So what if we do something like remove two um, remove the points, only having two points within the polygon. Okay, so polygon with 2 points, that would be something similar to a line sort of thing. Let's see whether we have that. Yes, you guys can see it's drawing a line. It's not like the line that you will see like the map line, the road direction. No, it's just Damulla to Sigiriya, they are drawing a line. It's a polygon, but if you provide only two, it will draw a polygon which contains a line. Okay, so you can use the polyline if you like, but you can have the polygon if you want something like this. So it's easy to draw an area. Even we can customize this polygon. If you look at the class definition that we got um, on the Google Map itself, this is the one that we have already done. And what if happen? It is clicked, and we can have something like fill color. Okay, so fill color is what the color it's gonna look like, and the stroke color is like the color it is having around the border. Okay, so we can change these things and see whether it is working as well. Okay, so we'll just do some customization in here, and we can say the Beduma, and we can add more customization. Let's say stroke color, and we can say colors dot, let's say color dot, let's say blue. Okay, so the stroke color would be blue, but our fill color, it would be black, but default is black. And to make things easy, I am gonna change the camera location to CP, otherwise I have to always zoom in. So, okay, so you guys can see we have sorry, we have the stroke color in blue, but the fill is in black. Yes, so we can modify it. So if you want to change the stroke color or the fill color, you can do that as well. So I can say color um, color dot I think I can have transparent colors. Let me check. Jetpack color transparent. Ah, transparent Jetpack compose opaque opacity. Mm -mm. Okay, I think I can do is color dot black, and we can say copy, and we can set alpha. Alpha is for like 0.5, so 0.5 floating points. So the fill color would be in black, but it's gonna have a transparency of 5. That means it's half alpha. So let's see this in action. There you go. So you guys can see now it is having a translucent or transparent application, which shows you the area of interest. Okay, cool, right? So these are like more of sample applications that we can do. Okay, we can get these things in our application like this. So also you can see the when we click on the marker, it shows the text that we have put in here, the title and the snippet that we want. I think the yeah, we can have the tag around the strokes and where, and what we can do is on click we can do things in here as well. So we can make it clickable, or we can have the click option in here, so we know what's going to happen in this polygon. Okay, so we have used the polygon, we have used the Google Map. Of course, you guys feel free to play around with other things that will come around the way, like the circle and uh, polylines, styles, and everything. It's up to you guys to change these things and have these things in your style. And one other thing is we can do is uh, we can change the map style. Okay, so use probably this is what we call a terrain view. We can have a satellite view if you want within the application. So as a starting point, you can see it's like the Google Map default for applications that's run in basics, but we can have the terrain view change to something like a satellite view. Okay, so you can have that one as well. So how are we going to do that? How are we going to make that happen? So you guys can see there is the property section that we have in here that we can uh, these things in uh, a property that we can pass. Okay, we'll do that in here as well. So like what we have defined in here, a remember state, which will remember the current state of the application. Import remember function. Oops, I think I have remember function, mutable state. That means we can import this function and map type even in here. Okay. Let's do the error. Mhm. Property compose runtime, yes, and mutable state of also runtime. Properties. I think I have. Let's see. Let's bring error. We need is map properties and map style, map type, map type, map, map type, satellite. And while we are having the properties, I can provide the properties in here. Let's see whether this is work. Get value. We are trying to have the properties. Import. Okay. Import Set value. Okay, that's it. So we have like set value and get value imports were not there. That's what's causing the error. And I can see I can put it in a val. Okay, so basically what we are doing in here, we are giving some properties, extra configuration for the Google Map, which is input by using, or which we can modify using this property section. So in these properties, what we're gonna do is we're gonna remember is like what we did in the remember camera position. This is like extended version, but this is the base version. So it's gonna remember the state while we are changing, and mutable state. So that means we are not gonna, we'll be changing this within the application when it is going runtime. This will be saved. So the map properties, what we're going to be doing is we will be giving some map properties. Okay, we will have something like map type, and the map type that we are interested in satellite. Okay, so if you refresh this, and there you go. So while we are looking at, this is like the satellite view of the application of the CGD and that area. So we know, okay, for sure, this is the CGD, and you guys can see the CGD rock is in here. I think the latitude longitude is a little bit different, but anyhow, it's a job done. Right. So we can change the map type by providing some properties which will be consumed by the Google Map itself. Okay, so we can change that. And there are some other settings that we can do, like UI settings. Okay, we can you guys can see that we do not confuse um, these zoom buttons with the map zoom button. So these are these white buttons that you see in here. Those are for the Google Map to be zoom in and zoom in out. This is something for the emulator to zoom out and zoom in. Okay, but say for instance, I can change the visibility of these two buttons. I don't want people to zoom by clicking on this. So we can do the settings. Okay, so we can use this mutable state for UI settings, just like we did for properties. We will import this map UI settings. Okay, and what we can do is we can have a switch in here in the Google Map, it says, and if I put it in here, we will just import a switch. Switch in the sense a normal composable switch, which we can oops, switch Android X. Okay, so a default switch within the Google Maps, that if it is checked, what we're going to do is UI settings. With the settings that we have in here, we will have the zoom controller enabled if it is checked. Okay, on check change, when we are toggling the switch, okay, it will do is UI setting. It will take the UI the current enable, whether it is enabled or not, and copy it to the UI setting. So it's basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna enable, disable these zoom options. Okay, so that's done by a switch that we have introduced. Let's see this in action. Did not wrong. Okay, app crashed. Let's see why this is happening. Probably the logcat will have some good explanation. Clear logcat, run it. Logcat. Android X Compose UI, not layout, cannot be cast to Compose Map. Did I do something? Okay, sorry. think this is coming. This is out, right? Yeah, this is something out of the Google Map definition. Okay, so we can have it on Topify if we want. I think they have put it on a box. Yeah. So we will put this one in a box modifier. Otherwise, what will happen? The Google Map and the switch won't be showing as one. And I'll have the switch in here as a subsection for the Google Map. And the box will have the modifiers max field size. So we have the modifier dot max field max field size. Okay. Let's run this once again. Okay. So you guys see that we have a check button on here, and take a closer look at these buttons. So it should toggle. Let me see. If checked, zoom controllers enable. Okay, sorry, I forgot to put settings in here. Settings is UI settings. Okay, I have to have the reference to that, otherwise it won't know. Okay, now we have the zoom section over here. Now it is disabled. If we enable, the zoom sections comes in. Okay, so basically what we can do is we can customize the layout, customize the view itself, and we can customize uh, uh, um, uh, we can customize the UI in some sort of way. So we have different options. We can draw polygons, which is inside the Google Map. We can have markers in here, okay, which is inside also the Google Map. But if you want to have some configuration that we need to do, we can use the UI settings. Okay, the UI settings in here. So what we can do is by using a simple switch. Okay, if it is checked, what we do is we set the UI setting zoom control enabled. Okay, if the switch is checked. Okay, on a change, if the checked has changed, what we're gonna do is zoom it represent what is the value, it is whether it is false or true, and we're gonna copy the UI setting and we will modify zoom control enable to whatever the value that we are providing here. If the switch is false, then the zoom control enable is gonna be false and the UI settings will update. And once the UI setting is updated, it is communicated by this remember mutable state. And when the UI settings state, Google Map will notify, okay, the settings has changed. We have to update our UI. Then the UI itself is changing in here. Okay, so it's pretty much easy, pretty much simple that we can change the UI itself from here. And there are properties that we can change, like the view that we have, the satellite view, and whether we have things like hybrid, none, and terrain. Sorry. So we have like hybrid, and if I uh, reload, then we will have a different view in here. So you guys can see it's going with satellite as well as the roads and markers and everything is put on here. Okay, so we can modify according to our needs. Okay, remember the things that we had to do. Uh, remember the things that we need to do in order to get these things up and running. API key, Google Map Composable dependency, and a bunch of few things in the application itself, just to make these changes. So I would like you guys to um, do some things, some changes in here with regarding to the application, with regarding the uh, development of your own. So uh, let's like do not repeat what I have done, but what I'm gonna ask you guys to do is draw a circle. Draw a circle in your hometown. Okay, wherever you are, your hometown is from. For myself, it's gonna be Matale. Okay, so I'm gonna draw a circle with say, let's say, or even your current location, whatever. So if it is Matale, you draw a circle on in here with the center of lat long in the Matale coordinates, maybe array of 5 kilometers or something, so we can see it clearly. Okay, so you have to go through the API, you have to go through the documentation, set up your own Google Map, and set up a circle which is your hometown and 5 kilometers of radius, so it will be showing up in here. So that's, once you've done that, make sure to post the result within the group so we can see how okay you guys have done that. Okay, it's really simple. The API itself is really easy to manage. You can just do it by simply looking at these things without an issue. Okay, all right, any questions up until this, guys? Okay, all right, anyone have any questions, just let me know. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the emulator. What I'm gonna do is and delete this API key. So I'm no longer need this. So it won't, my key won't work anymore. Delete credentials. And I have to delete. And there you go. Right. So that is done. Anything else, guys, that I need to explain? Anything you guys need to work on? Okay. All right. So do the things that I asked, then we can show your result in the chat so we can see whether you have accomplished it or not. Okay. All right. Let me stop.